Hey guys, it's Jim Bounds at Motorhome Rehab Ranch, and this is episode 2 of window tinting. There are two things involved in window tint. One is the film, and the other is the talent. Okay, the film is not that much unless the talent's not that good. In other words, if you have to do it 2 or 3 times, then you'll be using more film. The way the film works, don't you love that purple film and that pink film? And how about the stuff that's real wavy, looks like you're going through the water? Then there's the dotted film. Don't you love that stuff? That's crap. That's bad film, or that's really old film that should have been taken off. Think of window tint as you're making a decal, just like a decal, the exact size of the window. How long is a decal going to last? Okay, what are the two parts of a decal? One is the material, and 2 is the adhesion. Now, on a decal, you don't see the adhesion, but on window tint, you actually look right through the adhesion. So when the adhesion starts to look all gooey and stuff, that's what you see. That's junk film. I would not, if you're going to buy a new car and they're going to say, we're going to tint it for you, ask them what kind of film it is, because you don't want junk film on it. You've seen really nice cars, maybe 2 or 3 years old, and the film looks like garbage. That's because they put the cheap film. You know, there's not that much difference in the better film or the cheap film, but you can't tell when they put it on. So they put it on. All right? Don't use cheap film. If you go to an auto parts store and you see a roll of film in a box like this, do not buy it. Matter of fact, look at the brand name that I'm not going to say, and do not ever buy that stuff. Okay, it's garbage, it's junk. Don't do that. The way the film's purchased, quality film is purchased for automotive use, is in a 20-foot roll. Okay, 20-inch wide roll. And really, if you don't buy 100 feet of it in a roll, you're paying too much. So you got a 100-foot roll of it. Well, a 100-foot roll would do 4, maybe 5 cars. But hey, you've only got 1 car. That's right. So trying to do it on your own to get quality film, you're going to have to do 4 or 5 cars to get a quality film at a price that you might as well just have somebody do it. I mean, that's the whole way the market is. Now, this is automotive film. If you had like a minivan or SUV that had a window bigger than 20 inches, they also make it in a 30-inch. This is a 36. This film is commercial film. This is a 60-inch roll. Now, if you think about it, this roll right here, 100 foot of 20-inch film, it's going to cost you maybe $200, $250 a day. Used to be less, of course. So if you spread that out over 5 cars, it's a pretty good deal. You think about what a 60-inch roll of film like this costs. So there is cost involved in the material. And just tinting 1 car or even 1 motorhome, it might be better to have someone else do it. Now, if you're one of those that want to absolutely do it, okay. Find the local Lumar, L-L-U-M-A-R dealer in your town. Find them and go to see them, because they will have, Lumar film is a good film. I've also used Solar Guard, and this one is, well, this is also Solar Guard. Most of the stuff I get is Lumar because it's a nice quality film, and they carry all kinds. They also carry Olfa silver knives if you want one. All right, you buy 20-inch roll, and for your motorhome, you want to get a 36-inch roll, because our windows are 34, so you want 36 inches. So it's going to be something like a roll like this. Okay. Now, there are 2 types of films. There's a filter film and then there's a reflective film. The filter film does its job with color, with a dye. It has a dye in it, and it filters out the film. In other words, it absorbs, like this is a light smoke, it absorbs 35% of the heat and light, and lets the rest of it pass. The problem with a filter film is it gets hot. If a filter film, like you see limousine, I want that dark film, that's the best, that's the most expensive, right? No, it's not. That means that's a heavy filter. That's a 5%. It allows 5% of the light to go through. But it's a heavy dye. You've seen cars that have purple tint. The dye has faded from ultraviolet. It's cheap dye, okay? The more dye you have in it, the bigger chance it's going to have to turn colors. So I stay away from filter films. This film is a reflective film. Generally speaking, stay away from filter films, okay? Because they just won't last. Ultraviolet eats everything, okay? So what you want is what they call a high performance film. A film that uses either metal particles or ceramic particles to reflect off the heat. Reflecting is much more effective than filtering, okay? This is a light smoke. This would be a 36-inch roll. This would be good for a GMC. This material very light, but it blocks out a lot of ultraviolet because it reflects off. You can see a little bit of a sheen to it. This is a nice film. A dark smoke. I have some dark smoke here and some light smoke. That nice color. Another way you can get a performance film is in a charcoal. They don't use blue dyes. They use other dyes, and it has kind of a charcoal look to it. Okay, that's a nice look if you've got a car that has metallics. You know, maybe not a yellow car or something. Yeah, there are colors. You say, well, it's just smoke. No. There are actual colors of this stuff. Okay. Matter of fact, in this commercial roll, this is a true reflective film. Chrome, you've seen that in buildings and stuff. This really blocks off a lot of heat, So you've got a window that you can look out. It's like a 20%. It's like a dark smoke if you look through it. But the lighter area will be a complete mirror. And that means at night, if you're inside with the lights on, it's going to be a mirror also. So you just don't forget that, all right? This is in commercial. You don't want to see this in a vehicle that much because you want to look out whether you're in daylight or dark. So, but this 60-inch roll was made for a business that wanted to block out their windows completely, and they were southern exposure, so it would block out all the heat. All right. So you've got filter films, you have reflective films, or high performance films. Also, you want SR, scratch resistant. Now, if it's not scratch resistant, most everything is scratch resistant. The cheap films are not. In other words, you roll your window up 10 or 12 times and you'll see little tiny hairline scratches in it. You want to get a scratch resistant, you want a high performance film, and if you get a ceramic or a metallic, it has more reflective qualities to it. Now, there are two parts to a piece of film. There's the liner, and then there's the main part. You say, how do you get it apart? Well, you chew it. Yeah, you chew it. You take your upper teeth and your lower teeth, You grind it and then stick your tongue between it. I know it sounds a little gross, but you could also take 2 pieces of Scotch tape and put it on yourself, but then you got to pull the Scotch tape off. And if you're going to do this, you're going to get down and nasty. You're going to have slip solution all over your hands. You're going to be kind of wet and, you know, chewing the film. You say, why do you do that? Well, after you cut the pattern, you don't want to mess up the pattern. So if you get it wet and you chew it, you won't tear the film. Now, yeah, you got to get used to this, okay? You see how I'm holding it apart? See, there are the 2 pieces. The liner, you're going to throw that away. And this is what sticks to the glass. All right? See, now, see how it's already got a static charge to it just by hanging up in the air. You see how it's got static to it? Well, guess what? Dirt is being attracted to it. That's why when you pull the liner, you want this thing wet because the water shorts out the static charge for a minute. Okay, so right now this stuff's already attracted so much pollen. Right now is pollen season. There's so much dirt in the air that really it's no good. It won't do anything. So the next couple of videos we're going to talk about peeling and sticking film and how to do that. So pay attention on that one. But it's all, again, there are 2 parts, the material and then the talent. You got to cut it. It's an art form. It's, well, I say art form, it's like bowling. I mean, you don't have to be Picasso. And Picasso, I don't know if he bowled or not, but you don't have to be Picasso to bowl. The more you bowl, the better you get. The more you do something, the better you get at it. Henry Ford's first car had bicycle tires, and he figured out right away that he needed a bigger tire. Well, you're going to do window tint. Expect to screw up 2 or 3 windows. Matter of fact, learn how to do the steps before you think, well, I'm going to leave that one. You're going to make some mistakes because it's a talent, okay? It's a talent. But it's no good without the right film. So if you're wanting to do this yourself, find a local Lumar dealer. If you're going to have someone else do it, use this information and knowledge to talk to them about what kind of film they're using, what kind of film you would like. All right? Well, look, I hope this was helpful. If it was, hit like and all that stuff. Share with others. This is a little bit out of GMCs. It's having to do with tint. And we're going to be tinting not just a GMC. So we're going to do, when we start talking about how to cut it out, how to pattern. So keep watching. This is episode 2. So episode 3, we'll be getting into what to do with the material. Thanks again. Thank you, ranch hands, and we'll see you next time.